This was 6 days before my accident. Let's show this out. Here's what you need to know. I was in West Virginia, rock climbing. Okay? Rocks. Yeah. Me. I climb rocks. I start from the bottom and climb up to the top. This particular rock was a big one. Okay, and this rock I was climbing is called Seneca rocks. And this is a horrible drawing. It's not what the rock looks like. But here was me and my buddy. His name was Zach. We were climbing. It's him. He fist bumped me. I'm going. I come off the ground. He still stays on the ground because he has to keep me safe. He's holding this belay device, this gree. Yeah, I'll be right back. Throwing this thing because that would hurt. But this is it. This is a belay device. This is what keeps you safe when you climb. But you don't wear it. Your buddy wears it. So, like I was saying, Zach, a boy on the ground, he's wearing this. And this device, so this is the carabiner. You clip these into the wall, but we'll get to that. This device opens up. This little thing, K-Sender, that's my name, okay? This actions, it cams. And when that moves, it pinches the rope right there. So the rope feeds in through here and up through here. So through this part is where the guy climbs. So I'm climbing, and then the brake strand comes through here, and you always hold on to it. Always have your hand, because if you let go, the rope just funnels through, and then you don't get caught. But you hold on to the brake strand, and it cams the device, and pinches the rope, and stops it. Uses friction. But this is a carabiner, and you need those just as much as you need this. But this is a funky looking one, let's just ignore it. A normal carabiner is connected to like either a Dyneema sling, which is just a super high strength and tensionality cord, basically. A sling, not a cord, that goes through here, or a dog bone, which is just a nylon plastic, basically. Nylon and plastic. Holding it together, 2 carabiners and a quick jaw. So it's a carabiner, a piece of rope almost, and another carabiner. That's called a quick jaw. Each one of these X's is 1 quick jaw, okay? But I was trad climbing. There aren't bolts. There's a couple bolts drilled into the rock, but there aren't a lot. You place cams. Those are the jangly things in the beginning of the video. And so much about all the climbing stuff, why don't I just take you to, come on, let's go.
Hi, Billy.
Now that you're here, this is the quick jaw I was talking about. This part is floppy, this goes into the rock, bang. This part is stiff, so you can take your rope and clip it in super easy. That's what I was talking about. So on normal sport climbing, what makes you not fall is that there's one guy at the bottom. These things are your anchor points. That's anchoring you to the wall when you fall. The only thing that stops you from not hitting the ground is your buddy holding on to the rope that comes out this hole. And this is the cams. This is what I was using to climb. There's all different sizes. This is a relatively small one, but they have lobes on each side that have friction and press friction in between the rock. So this one is a little messed up, as you can tell, because I used it. But you bend it back, it exerts force on the outside of the rock to where it's cammed like that, and that's why they're called cams, because that's not going anywhere. This breaks at like 8 kilonewtons. 4 kilonewtons is 1,000 pounds of force. 1 kilonewton is 225 pounds of force. So where am I going with all of this stuff? So on this particular area that I was rock climbing at, Seneca rocks, okay? This little backdrop I have on right now, that is the top of the route, okay? P1, P2, top. P1, P2, top. P1 stands for pitch 1. Pitch stands for 1 rope length. A rope length is 60 meters. It wasn't 60 meters. It was like maybe 50 feet of climbing, okay? From here to the bottom of the ground, 50 feet of climbing to there. You place your own gear, and as much as you place is how safe you want to be. The least you place, the less safe you are, but the more conservative you are for gear for these upper halves, basically. I made it to pitch 1, easy work. I am up here now, so I have to get Zach up because he's still on the ground. He just got me safe. So I get myself safe. I just clip into my own anchor. I place a bunch of those cams and I make an anchor, kind of like this. Oh, here. Basically, this is what you have. This is in one gear placement, one crack of the rock, which is under the keyboard. This is in another one, or it can be next to it, which is under the controller. Then I have a bomber nut, which is not going anywhere, under that controller. And then you have all three of them kind of near the same equal point. And then you take a sling. This is a shoelace, but I didn't want to get a sling out. Take a sling and you clip each one of these to it, like this. And then you take all three of them, pull them down and equalize this, and you clip a carabiner through all three of those holes that I pulled down. And this is the extra half, but this is your master point. This is what I got safe. I got to the top of this route. I got to the top of P1. I am now here. I'm up there, and now I have to get my buddy Zach up with me. Don't let go of that strand. I'm not going to, but I set up my gree onto this, and I have another quick draw, basically, or it's called a personal anchor system, which is just girth hitched onto my harness, clipped onto here too, so I can hang back. He doesn't have to deal with me, and now I am keeping him safe. Zach, now he is up there. I got him up. Yay, we made it. Part 1 out of 3. We're about to top out. Let's go. This part deserves its own section. I led pitch 1, and I got him up there, and he was like, you want to lead it? You want to lead pitch 2? Like, it's a fun one, it's pretty easy, and it's pretty pumpy too. I was like, sure, dude, this is our 3rd day here. We already had 2 other successful days climbing, had ice cream, had a good night's sleep. It's the last day. Let's send her. Let's do some good. And this guy is what broke my back. Let me explain. A little bit ago, there was a guy named Royal Robbins. And these guys were dirt bags. Like, look at this tent. Like, the definition of dirt bags. All they needed was a little bit of tunes, a little bit of music, and some granite. Going with this is this one thing right here. Look. Do those look familiar? Those, all of those were 1969 cams called pitons. A little bit of backstory behind Seneca Rocks is it was an old military training wall for the Swedish military. Not the Swedish military. I'll pull it up right here. But it was a military climbing wall, and they had these pitons in there, and they hammer them in there like crazy because it's just metal. Roy Robbins was a good guy. He took those out and he reused them. They left them in. They just beat them in too hard. And also, they're super pointy, not as wide as in the picture. They kind of narrow down to a tip, almost like as skinny as this. And you beat that thing in there. Now, if you look at this, you'll be able to tell it's pretty rusty. I was in a section where it was thin, it was flaky, there wasn't a lot of gear to place. There wasn't good slots in the rock for me to put my cams in. But there was a piton. I was like, let's go. They climbed this before, they used that. That's why it's there, because there's not a lot of good protection in place. So I clipped that with the quick draw. I don't remember anything after that, but what I'm told, what I know, not what I'm told, what I know happened is I fell, I slipped. I don't remember anything leading up to me. I don't remember shaking. I don't remember anything, but I fell 35 feet. I'm pretty sure I fell and landed on my butt onto a rock. I shattered my pelvis, crushed my back, collapsed my lung, broke my elbow. And then after I hit that rock, I rolled off and fell 34 or 30 more feet. And then that's when Zach could see me. I believe so. I'm not positive. Because again, I was like half unconscious, half not. But I was awake. I was hanging upside down and screaming, oh, my back, get me down. It was intense. And then I black out for a little bit. And I wake up and I get to be able to say my mom's phone number, which was a lifesaver. And then the next thing I remember, I wake up after surgery with a tube down my throat. And have a tube down my throat, a tube in my chest, and just seeing, and I'm so grateful that my mom was there. That's all I remember. And that, when I wake up, is 4 days after I fell. I fell on April 20th. My memory resumes about the 24th, 25th. I was sleeping 22 hours out of the day for those 4 days remaining. I had one surgeon. I was lucky enough to have one surgeon who could do it all. Repair, fuse my back. I have 2 rods that go down my back. Fuse my back together. And also have a triangle of stability drilled into me and mounted. I don't know. I said me now. And an external fixator, which I had to wear for 2 months after, which was 2 holes that were drilled into my pelvis, and I had a half circle that was right here that would stop me from leaning forward. I could like barely sit down. I couldn't turn. I'd sleep on my back for 2 months straight, stuck in the West Virginia hospital after I was just trying to have a weekend trip. And I came home on May 11th. My accident was April 20th. I got to come home May 11th on Mother's Day, and it was amazing. And then I was not being able to shower, being stuck downstairs for about a month after that. And then I got my X-Fix removed June 9th. This was my warm-up, and then I had all of my stuff written down that I was allowed to do. And then I also kept track of it for 1 week straight. And then I took 3 days off after that. And this is my new program. June 26th to July 26th, 1 month where I got a little bit more in depth. This bottom part is my tracker. This top part is the 3 days on, 1 day off, 1 to 2 days off. But I log all my stuff that I do. I'm at least doing a mile every day. My doctor, my back doctor, looked at the x-rays from the day of my surgery. Of course my bone's gonna look a little fragile just after you put all this shit in there. Like, it's, what, how can, I'm going to college in August in Utah. I'm in Indiana right now. It's a little bit away. It's 22 hours away. What am I supposed to do? My next back appointment is in August. I won't be able to go until December. That's like 8 months after my back. So what am I cleared to do? I'm flying solo. So yeah, this has honestly taught me a lot. But really it's taught me that your body can do anything. You shouldn't let other people tell you what you can and can't do. And also, don't set limitations for yourself without figuring out and testing the waters first. So what am I doing? I'm taking it day by day, because honestly, that's all I think I can do. I'm just testing out the waters as I go. I'm still only lifting 10 pounds, 10 to 15 pounds in every single exercise and movement. It doesn't hurt to walk, but I do have sharp pains in my back every once in a while. I'm trying to not have a slouch back because I just think that insinuates pain. But taking it step by step at a time and trying to add progressive overload in the basic things that everyone takes for granted. I was so flexible. I was so like, now I have to pick up my own leg to put it on my knee. To cross my legs, I have to pick up my own leg to get up there now. I was so flexible and took all that for granted because of hockey. Like, we all take our health for granted. Why? Why do I need to have a near-death experience to realize and appreciate how beautiful life is, how fragile it is? At the end of the day, I'm beyond grateful. Seriously, beyond grateful that this thing snapped, that I fell, that I broke my back, that I was miserable in my head, that I was mentally at the lowest point in my life. I'm glad I went through all that, because genuinely it's changed me as a person, changed my mindset, changed the way that I look at the world, and makes me want to do more. Don't wait for the perfect time. There is no perfect time. I've heard these quotes and I've known these quotes forever, but everyone just says they're cliche, so they don't take them for seriously. They take them for granted. The most simple quotes, the easiest to understand stuff that we look over and brush off of our shoulders and just let breeze by, that is the stuff that actually makes changes into your life if you implement it. Knowledge is power, but powerless unless you have the knowledge to apply it. Thanks for watching. What I'm trying to get at is that it's all about perspective. At one view, you see something one complete way and no other way. And then at another view, you see something that you didn't even think was there. Yep, I own this. So yeah, I can walk now. It's pretty crazy, the journey I've been on, and I just try to remind myself of that almost every day, because a lot of times I get discouraged that I can't run yet, that I'm able to hang out with my friends and do all this stuff, but I can't run. I can't actually have an intense workout. I can't have intensity, have that grit, have that athleticism that I've had my entire life. But I mean, look, I can sit up straight in a park by myself and edit this video. Like, it's just crazy. I am beyond lucky, and don't wait for something horrible to happen for you to realize that you love your life and you take it for granted right now. Later.